I really think that one of the most important questions that you should ask yourself if you plan on moving to Portugal is, what job am I gonna do? Um, when I was coming, I had different ideas in my head. I was like, I knew that I was not gonna be able to teach because of the licenses in different countries. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna do Uber. Now let's talk about Uber, right? Let's talk about driving Uber. Now, I want to talk about this because people just assume that, oh, I have Nigerian license, I can drive when I come here, I can just get a car and start doing Uber. Or some people think, oh, I can't do Uber because I don't have a car. And that is not so true. So this is what I've learned. And you are welcome to tell me that maybe the information is not correct, which is okay, but that there is no information is even a bigger problem. So let's talk about this. So I was like, I'm gonna learn how to drive in about 2 years. I'm gonna do like Uber. I'm gonna get my dream car and do Uber with it, or a car that is approved by Uber or Bolt. But when I came, what I noticed was that first, I did not learn how to drive from China, which was a big mistake. And when I got here, I wanted to register for the school. They said, oh, you can't register for the driving school if you don't have a resident permit. That was the first shocker. Then after getting my resident permit after a few months, I went back to the driving school. They were like, okay, yeah, you can register. I said, okay, I want the English one. That was the only school at that time that had an English or like driving school. So they said it was around $950. They wouldn't let me pay one off. They said I should pay like in 3 parts. So I deposited like $550 at first. Then I started the classes. They said you cannot miss the classes because we all got like a student permit card, student driving permit card that they mark our attendance. So it's like maybe it's registered somewhere for the government. It's not like they're monitoring you. You just want to know that you're not missing your class. So after that, I started the classes. It was a bit stressful for me because I had night shifts. I think I got a job by then, so I would go night shift work. I would go to class in the morning or evening, and I would have to go to driving class in the evening. It was really, really like super stressful. So I missed a few classes, but if you miss a class, you can reschedule the class. So I did that. Then after it was time to write the exam. So it's like 30 questions. You can't miss more than 3. So I eventually missed like 5. So I had missed about 5 questions. They wrote they marked out the 5 questions, topics that I missed, and they sent me back to the driving school to do 5 more classes. After doing 5 more classes, then I will have to pay for the exam because the exam was like $250 out of the $950. So it was like $250. But if you fail it once, you go back there, it will be $350. So you really need to know what you're doing. Guys, I've not been able to go back because I've been very, very busy. Now, after passing your theory test, then you start learning how to drive on the road. So after finishing all your classes, maybe about 16 classes, then you do the road exam, then you can start driving. So when I ask a few people like from Nigeria, like, oh, I know how to drive in Nigeria, I can never fail this. I'm like, okay, if you're in an intersection and you're in a section, there are 4 cars. Who goes first? Everybody started saying left. The left person will go first. I'm just looking at them like this and I'm like, hey, you don't know that somehow, even though you drive on the side that you drive, which is different from the side that the British were driving, I feel like you guys are still using the British driving lessons to tutor yourself because, I don't know, colonialism. So let's leave that part. So if you're coming from Nigeria, I want you to do 2 things. Have your national driving license and have the international driving license. And also, I think the FRSC page where you're registered. And also, make sure that is the driving license card that you did a thumb print. I know some of you need to get that one that you did a thumb print in the FRSC office. Get that now. And if you're planning to move and you think that you want to drive Uber, so if I had gotten a license before and I had like 3 years experience driving and I was able to switch those cars to the Portuguese one, then you do a license test to drive Uber and Bolt. I think it's called TVDE. T for Togo, V for Victoria, D for dog, E for Eniola. So TVDE exam, I think so. I don't really know the name, but at least you have a little information. Don't go and be thinking, when I arrive, I just start driving car. And if you manage to pass all of that, anytime I enter a taxi, I talk to our Indian guys and the Pakistani guys. They're really helpful. Talk to them. They'll give you all of the information that you need, and they're not gatekeeping the information. So make sure to ask them. So one of the things they told me was that if you're driving Uber, somebody explained to me, man, you are free to correct me, but what they explained to me was that it's not like if you're driving Uber with that car, you're not that your wife can drive it and be driving that around. Because first, you need to register as a company or maybe under somebody's company. So that car is a company car. Your wife cannot just pick it up and be driving it anyhow. You understand? And you always have there's this placard at the glass that says TVD. So you know that this car is for Uber and it's just not one random car that came to pick you, or for both. So please think about it very well. When I come, what am I going to do? What if I cannot get menial jobs or blue collar jobs? Is a whole lot of it. Please, let's not even talk about blue collar jobs, because I will need to do some research to talk about blue collar jobs. So what can I do? Yes, there are customer support jobs, there are technical support jobs, but the point is almost everyone can speak English, so you know how that market will be. And you also need to you need to have the resident permit. Don't let anybody deceive you that you can just come as a tourist and hang. I mean, but it's not Yatumajorie. I mean, because that person that did it, maybe they have wife or husband here, and there's a document they can apply, so they are not hanging. You come and try it, okay? And if you know you want to come, do quick. And also, if you want to come, I've told you people, you cannot be picking money on the trees. So our minimum wage is very low. You can ask me what the minimum wage is in the comments, and I will tell you. So please, plan it. Think about what you're going to do. Learn skills. If you want to learn skills, learn it from Nigeria already. Go to the Ministry of Commerce and Trade and get the license for that trade skills that you learned. Not just the freedom one. You get? You're understanding me, right? Everything is gelling. Okay. So that's my thought for you today. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye.